Hey, welcome to Terraria with Yak. This is the melee guide for Aquatic Scourge on Death Mode and Master Mode. So the weapon you're going to want to attain is the Axe of Purity, by far the best weapon for this fight. You want, for worm bosses, you want to make sure you're using piercing weapons only, and the Axe of Purity is such good piercing value. It does great damage, and it's just overall by far the best. Next up, this boss is meant to be fought after your first mech boss, which, if you've been following the guides, should have been the twins. So now you have access to the mithril gear / the aura chaldum gear. However, the mithril is better, in my opinion. You get I think it sacrifices defense for damage. The damage is just so good on mithril armor. You just have to go with it, really, on any class. But you could go with aura chaldum gear as well. There's also, since you can obtain the mithril anvil, you can now obtain better accessories and weapons overall, really. So what you want to obtain for melee class is the evasion scarf for dashing. It's the best dashing accessory you can obtain right now. The flame wings, which give you that melee stat boost, and the Ankh shield if you can. It's a little hard to get, but if mods make it easier, like Fargo's mod adds crafting recipes for some of the items you need. But the obsidian shield, which you should have already had from pre-hard mode, can work just fine. All you really need is that immunity to knockback. When you spawn the boss, it will actually be passive at first. It will not be attacking you. It's only when you attack the boss that it will then start attacking you. So you want to kind of wait until you get that perfect angle to get that first really good piercing shot in before you start attacking the boss. From there on, the boss repeats the same cycles over and over again. It's kind of like your typical worm boss. It will repeatedly charge at you. It'll fly away and then it'll come charging at you again. You know, this is if you fought Desert Scourge, this is just the hard mode version of Desert Scourge, literally. Now the projectiles it spawns are the spears and the clouds. The spears, it will spawn regularly when it's just flying throughout or charging at you, and the clouds, the boss will periodically make a circle shape, fly in a circle shape around the player, and this is when it will shoot clouds, and these clouds linger for a while, so they can be very annoying if you have to try to move and maneuver through them. But if you're using a good enough piercing weapon, most of the time you can kill the boss before these clouds stack and become a huge issue. So really, you just want to keep your movement pattern just like any other worm boss. You kind of fly away from the boss so you get as much, like, fly directly opposite with the boss, because you want to get that most amount of time to pierce as possible, because that's when you're dealing the most damage. But anyways, that's it for Aquatic Scourge, guys. It's really a simple boss. And if you follow these guides, I mean, you should have no problem beating this. Thank you. Have a good day.